way, Jose.
Red I got you. Come subscribe, like. Come subscribe, like. Come subscribe, like. Come subscribe.
No way.
Red I got you. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about the whole love triangle between Robby, Tori, and Zara. Now, even though I don't really love this love triangle, I think that it's a lot better than the Sam, Miguel, and Axel love triangle, because that one has like a crap ton of issues that would take a 14-minute video. So, you know, if you find one of those, you know, let me know. Particularly maybe on my channel. Maybe you'll find it. But the main point is, I think this love triangle is 50-50, and overall it has some good elements to it, but I do think there is a huge issue that the show did not address properly and did not think about when they were creating the scene. And I think you guys already know what I'm talking about, and I will address that a little bit, but I will not try to make it the entire video. I will talk about other aspects, but yeah, I do have to have a conversation about the whole Zara and Robby interaction. Now, the main premise behind this love triangle is that Tori is essentially having a lot of issues when it comes to her mother dying and her having not enough funds in order to, you know, have a funeral and stuff like that. And, you know, obviously she still has, you know, her brother is still in the picture, so she has to provide so that her brother, you know, can eat and so she can eat. And she's already struggling mentally, and it's just like, it's really having a toll on her. So that's why she joins Cobra Kai again. And honestly, I already have my issues with that, and I already made a video about that. If you want to know my thoughts on that, you can go watch it. It was about part 1. Now in part 2, you know, she still has some of those same issues when it comes to her just being in Cobra Kai, when I already mentioned all the issues with it. But that is the main premise behind why she ends up causing issues for Robby, because Robby tries to support her, but, you know, he ends up failing because she essentially just doesn't want to have any other like influences in terms of what she wants to do. And even people throughout the episode are trying to help her and actually trying to understand her point of view and trying to see if they can, you know, fix things. But she obviously wants to pursue what she already established, which is her being in Cobra Kai, her getting, you know, the residuals from her winning the Sekai Tekai. So that when she gets those funds from the Sekai Tekai, she can use that to support herself and her brother and be able to use the Sekai Tekai as a way to honor her mother, essentially. And it's like, with Robby, I feel like he thinks the best thing for her is for her to join Miyagi-Do again. And honestly, I do understand his point of view, and honestly, I do sympathize with Robby more so, only because he's suffered so much throughout the entire series at this point, and it really is annoying that he has to lose this girl to basically the opposing team that is like he's trying to fight against. And he's trying to, you know, save, because in season 5 he was trying to save those kids, including Kenny, and he was trying to save Tori from Cobra Kai. Now he has to do it again, and I can understand how tiring that is. That's why at the end of episode 6, this is literally the beginning of part 2, and we're already seeing it's taking a toll on Robby, and he's sick and tired of it. So basically they take a break, and they go their separate ways, and Robby basically has to rely on, you know, his teammates and all this other stuff in order to, you know, win the Sekai Tekai against Tori. And he obviously doesn't like that, because that's his girl and he wants to support her, but, you know, obviously Tori made it very difficult for him, and so they parted ways. Now honestly, I really wish they went with my idea that I did in the part 1 video, where I was talking about Tori and why she shouldn't have joined Cobra Kai. I basically said that she should have fought one of the senseis when she was frustrated at Sam. Well, not at Sam, but when she was about to pummel Sam. And it really frustrates me that they didn't like at least think about that and like try that. And if Tori tried that, then we could actually get more in-depth understanding on what she actually needs. But now it's just kind of like, I feel like they didn't try all the avenues they could have possibly done in order to save Tori from Cobra Kai. And obviously, most likely, based on some of the theories, Miguel's going to join Cobra Kai again. Johnny's going to get access to Cobra Kai as a sensei once again, since he lost it in season 2. And it's crazy that it's been years since he even had it to begin with, but it doesn't really necessarily matter if he gets it back, because I still feel like Tori needs redemption from being a part of Kreese's Cobra Kai. Now, some people may say, since Robby and Tori ended up making up at the end of part 2, and they worked together along with Sam in the brawl fight, that she's somewhat like, that she's fully redeemed or something like that. And honestly, I'm not fully sure about that, only because the tournament is still going to go on based on some of the promotional photos that they've shown recently. And February 13th is going to be when part 3 comes out. So it's going to be it's still going to be a fight or a whole tournament and stuff like that. So I feel like she's not fully redeemed yet because of that. And obviously my theory might still happen, but I hope that when and if it does happen, that Tori actually has a genuine conversation with Johnny, and they make up, for the fact that she basically abandoned his version of Cobra Kai. And I hope that her and Miguel actually have a conversation, like a genuine one, because in season 6 part 1 they didn't really have one at all. They just talked about like Stanford, and then he tried to ask her about her future. She basically said she had none. Like, I hope they really talk about all the drama that they've had together, like their little relationship that they had in season 2, some of Tori's ideals, some of Miguel's ideals. Like I hope they have a genuine conversation, kind of like how Sam and Tori actually hashed their beef out. Like, because honestly, I feel like the whole Tory Miguel relationship was kind of forgotten. And I understand why, because it wasn't pure necessarily. Like, it was based on Tory wanting to get back at Sam and Miguel just missing Sam. But I do think that if she does stay in Cobra Kai and Miguel, like the whole theory happens, that they need to have a conversation at some point. Now, the reason I'm yapping about all this is because essentially Robby ends up drinking and potentially sleeping with Zara, depending on how you perceive the situation, because of the whole Tory situation. So I wanted to flesh that out, and honestly, I do hope that it goes in the direction I think it's going to. But with Tori specifically, or with Robby specifically, he is very stressed out, so he does the thing that he knows he shouldn't do, which is drinking, because that is what got him cheated on with Sam. Because he tried to stop Sam from drinking in season 2, and she ended up doing anyway. And that's basically a reflection of how his mom treated him. Like, she was drinking and somewhat of an alcoholic, and that's why she ended up presenting herself as like a bad mother, and she didn't treat him well. Johnny is also an alcoholic, so that just shows like how their family dynamics have gone. And Robby was starting to slip back into that same behavior because of the whole Tory situation. And that's why I've been very hard on Tori this whole video, is because I feel like she is causing a lot of stress for the other characters, including Sam and Devin to some extent, who genuinely do care for her and are trying to make the situation better. But obviously she's going through a lot, and I'm not saying that she isn't, with her mother dying. And it's just like, it's a whole messed up situation in general. So Zara is able to capitalize on that, and that's where her part plays in, where she's essentially trying to take Robby off the ball by him not focusing on Tori. And the thing is, she wants to hurt Tori mainly. It's not necessarily about Robby, and that's why I feel like Zara's whole motivation in general is very hollow, and she's a very hollow person in general, because even how she treats her followers, like, she has a very fake persona about herself, and she presents herself as this like very extroverted, outgoing, cool, kind, caring person, when she's obviously the complete opposite of that. So when how she treats Robby is how she presents herself to her fans, and that's very interesting, because it shows just how fake she actually is, when in reality she's a cold-hearted bitch, and she essentially treats Tori as such, and Sam to some extent, and Devin. She shows her true colors to the girls. Now, because of Zara's selfishness, trying to, do whatever she did with Robby, again, I'm going to address that in a second, and, her trying to hurt Tori, she essentially throws Robby off his game a little bit, and, he already has the mindset that Tori slept with Quan, because Quan like manipulated her in some sort of way, or maybe she had attraction for him. So it's like he is already thrown off his game mentally. So Zara makes it even worse by doing what she did, and it's like she really is like a better version of Axel, because like she's getting in the middle of these two, but she actually is like genuinely like a bad person. So like when she does things, it's like I don't have to feel bad for her or like justify her actions. She obviously is very shallow, just a hollow human being in general, and that's represented very well with again how she presents herself, and just her two-faced behavior. And I really do like that, because she's not only a fleshed out character to some extent, but I do think that she on screen is just more interesting than Axel to begin with, and other characters in part 2, is including like Dimitri and Hawk, who should have more screen time and should have more going on. But because Zara's a different type of character, she's more of a new character, so she gets the chance to be more interesting in general, because she has to play a villainous role, and usually in a villainous role you get more freedom to do whatever you want, or most of what you want. So like overall, she gets to just be very entertaining and be a force to be reckoned with in their relationship. Now, I do wish we got more with her, and that's just the thing with Cobra Kai Part 2, season 6 in general. Is I feel like we should have gotten more characters or more time with these characters in general. Now, the very dreadful scene that I needed to talk about was in episode 8 of season 6 part 2. And that's basically the scene where Robby and Zara just got done doing I don't even know what, and I mean, I can make an assumption, but essentially Tori walks in on them, or not walks in, but like she walks in the hallway, and they walk out, essentially getting done doing the deed. So the thing is, I really have an issue with this because I feel like fundamentally it crosses a lot of boundaries in terms of consent and stuff like that, and I really don't want to get into that on this channel, like in this video about Cobra Kai, a fighting show and everything like that. I just feel like it really makes me think. I feel like the writers really were just drunk or something like that when they were writing this season, because how do you like let something like this happen and let it come off this way? Because I feel like for me to say that she kind of low-key took advantage of Robby, it's not a stretch. Literally, bro didn't even understand. He didn't even comprehend what was happening, and I feel like it makes her look like more so a criminal than like an antagonistic threat who is trying to like disrupt their relationship. Like this feels like she's a criminal, low key. And it really speaks a lot about this season in general that they have characters like doing stuff like this. Like they have, Quan picking up a knife. Well, they let the knife even be brung into the tournament area to begin with from Kreese, and then Quan picks it up, and then he's about to end someone with it. He dies, and then Zara's doing the criminal actions to someone when they were drunk, and then Axel's harassing people who are in relationships, and people are justifying it. It's like I really don't understand what the writers were thinking when they were making these characters, because it's like every single one of the new characters has something genuinely criminal about them, and it's like why? I really do feel like this season is taking a nosedive in terms of quality compared to the other ones, and it's for like stupid reasons like this. Alright, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Comment, subscribe, like, let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the whole Zara and Robby situation. Maybe I'm off basis, maybe I'm dragging it, as people put it. Maybe with Tori I was a bit too harsh on her. Maybe I missed something in the video, maybe some parts of the love triangle that should have been addressed. Let me know. So yeah, comment, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys later.
Red Hot Gotsy, come subscribe, like, come subscribe, like, come subscribe, like, come subscribe.